So we're back underway with regards to our action, and we go to DD2 this time, their first of 3 heats. Each heat will be 10 minutes plus an additional lap. Here's your starting grid. Martin van Leuven from the Netherlands will have Ragnar Virus alongside on the front row. Finn Stiak and Patrick Snols-Lokmelis from Germany and Latvia, row 2. Lucas Hartmann and Bendit Sabo from Germany and Hungary round out row 3. Gregorio Bertocco, a newcomer to DD2, but not a newcomer to Rotax. Reese Hunter joins the Italian on the outside of row number 4. We then got Tino Egersov and Matthias Jere Jakobsen that completes the top 10. Good to catch up with Dennis Thiem yesterday. He'll be running from 11th. Alongside him will be Zana Schriblak in the 406 representing Belgium. Ville Viljainen and Justas Bangonis from Finland and Lithuania, row number 7. And it's Maxim Diddigs, Jose Barros, that is row 8. Kasper Sietmakowski and Matis Marinovskis, row number 9. Completing the top 20 is Adrian Bruno Nossa Vidal and Lawrence Seyfried. Devin Sagadi, Marius Novicki, Carl Borgard, Kilian Gerhard, and Andreas Zinkevicius, Ethan Ho, Stigray Hilt, Nick Cuppens, Jan Frost, Jaro Deckers, Yannick Herman, and Lucas Pernot rounds out the 32 strong, with Canada having to do a top gear from the rear here in their first heats. But it's good to have other nationalities from further afield joining us here at the Winter Cup. So after a rather interesting qualifying yesterday, where last year's Grand Finals champion Van Leuven took pole and instantly put a lap time that no one could touch. However, he's got Ragnar Virus alongside. Into the tram lines we go, the revs do rise, the lights are out, we're off and racing. Good start from Van Leuven, gets the whole shot, and Stiak and Nols-Lokmelis battling away with Ragnar Virus, and Virus already down to 4th by the exit of turn number 1. As they hurtle their way up the hill, there's a little bit of bumping and barging, but everyone is safely making it through thus far. Up the hill they go. Van Leuven keeping an initial lead and staying ahead of the rest of the competition. Down the hill they go for the first time into the hard braking zone before the tight left-hander. Van Leuven swings the kart out wide on the apex, on the exit. And Lokmelis being challenged by Ragnar Virus for 4th place. But Finn Stiak now up into 2nd position and chasing down Van Leuven. Virus is looking towards the inside of Lokmelis, but Lokmelis goes on the defensive, does not give the Estonian any opportunity. And then the Estonian pounces up the inside of the very next corner. Neatly done by Ragnar Virus to take 3rd position. Across the line they go once again. 8 minutes and 58 seconds plus an additional lap still to go. And Van Leuven leading the way. Finn Stiak about a 10th and a bit behind. And the German trying to catch up. Ville Viljainen now up into 9th ahead of Hungary's Bendit Sabo. Lucas Pernot from Westmount, Quebec, now up from last to 28th after the very first lap. So the Canadian running with KMS Europe this weekend, up a few places. So a good start from him. Matis Malinovskis up to 17th position. Maxim Diddigs also on the fringes of the top 10 now. So the Belgian moving forward. It's Van Leuven that leads the way. Sheepers Racing driver keeping a little bit of a lead ahead of Finn Stiak. The gap is now extending, 0.33 of a second. And hill to go once more. Virtus trying to close on in on the top two. Virtus is the fastest one out there. 1 minute 2.153 on the completion of lap number 2. We're on the third lap as we speak. Down the hill they go once again. Van Leuven just controlling proceedings. Finchdiak just behind. Virus, Lochmelis, Hartmann in 5th place with Gregorio Bertocco and Rhys Hunter now making it the top 7 karts, and they have broken away. The next driver after that will be Tino Egersov from Denmark, and then Ville Villainen, both with Robert Schlunsen with RS Competition, and Bendit Sabo running out the top 10. Lawrence Seifried's made up a couple of positions. Up to 18th goes the German as they come across the line, completing lap number 3. 6 minutes and 45 to go, plus an additional lap. Van Leuven has got a firm grip on the lead of this race, and at the moment is not letting go of it. Down the hill once more, over the crest. It's a pretty significant descent as that. Through the straight in the middle part of the circuit. And Lochmelis keeping pace with Ragnar Virus. Van Leuven and Stiak very close, within half a tenth of the fastest lap of the race as we go on to lap number 5. And Van Leuven pushing again. He went nearly a tenth and a half quicker than Finchdiak. Gap now opens to nearly half a second between the Dutch driver and the German in second position. Lochmelis needs to keep his apexes a little bit tighter going up the first part of the technical section that takes them up to the crest. Really gave an opportunity to Lucas Hartmann to get through, but the Latvian holds on, so still to 4th position. So we're now halfway through the race, 5 minutes down, 5 minutes to go, plus an additional lap. And it's as it has been from the minute the lights went out and we went racing. Van Leuven continuing to stay in front. There's some good battling behind the top 10, 12 drivers. And unfortunately, Lucas Pernod and Marius Nowicki are out, I'm afraid. Both drivers out on lap number 3 of the race. A real shame. They will have 2 other opportunities to get themselves as far up the order as possible in the next 2 heats. Maxime Drix, in the meantime, has made it up to 8th position. Belgian started down in 15th place. 2 years ago, when he came to this event, it was actually his starting point in DD2, and he's definitely flourished in the meantime, having qualified for Team Belgium, representing them at the grand finals in Bahrain late last December, the week before Christmas, for the nation. So Van Leuven brings him across the line. We're going to complete lap number 6 and go on to lap 7. Zana Shrivlak is having a little bit of argy-bargy with Bendit Sabo. The pair going up the hill, nigh on side by side through the first corner. But at the moment, Van Leuven is leading. The gap between Finchdiak and Ragnar Virus has extended to nearly 7/10 of a second. Lucas Hartmann has Gregorio Bertocco closing in, along with Rhys Hunter. Rhys Hunter's been running in the mid 1 minute 2s. So good pace from the Brits. He said it's a very, very different proposition, as there's an almighty scrap going on between the likes of Dennis Thiem and Lawrence Seifried, amongst others. I think Justas Pangonis also involved in that. So some great battling up and down the order as the leaders come across the line to complete another lap. Lap 7 completed, on to lap 8 we go. With Villainen being followed by teammate Jere Jakobsen. Van Leuven continuing to control proceedings. There's a gap of nearly 0.6 of a second has emerged between himself and also Finch Diak. And in the meantime, 2 laps ago, on the completion of lap number 5, Martin van Leuven put in the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 2.105 for the Dutch driver. There's a little bit further down the order. There goes Jere Jakobsen up the inside of Villainen. That's for 9th position. So the Dane gets past the Finn. Timer is fast ticking away. We're at 1 minute and 42 seconds plus an additional lap. A full season entry on offer for the winner of this class for the Euro Trophy this year. So we're heading into the last 60 seconds, plus an additional lap of this race. And yet, it's a steady flow of drivers, probably towards the bottom part of the top 10, whereas a little bit further back, it is kicking off a little bit. As there's a 4-kart brawl going down in towards the second from last corner. There's 4 drivers trying to make... I definitely noticed there was a Birolart chassis, and it was, I think that must have been Pangonis from Lithuania. He's got a 4-way scrap. And that is the case, and he's got the 405 of José Barros from Portugal right up the back bumper, right in the wheel tracks. The drivers make their way up to the top of the hill. Ragnar Virus is losing ground once again to Finch Diak. The gap now nearly 1.2 seconds. So it'll be between Virus and Noels Lochmelis for that 3rd place. Now the timer officially hits 0. That's it for the first of 3 heats for DD2. Martin van Leuven starting to eke away an ever-increasing advantage over Finch Diak from Germany. Now this time we'll get the last lap. Here comes Van Leuven, the 412 based out of Zolder these days. Last lap board is out. Stiak, Virus, Noels Lochmelis, Hadman, Bertocco, Hunter, Dirks, Jere Jakobsen, Egersov and Egersov ran at the top 10. Schriblak now up into 11th. Ahead of Villainen and Bendit Sabel with Dennis Thiem and Lawrence Eifried rounding out the top 15 positions. But Martin van Leuven has not been challenged that much in this race. Ragnar Virus was trying to get the jump going on through the start, but Van Leuven put the kart exactly where he needed to, and he's been doing that all race long. Now 2 more corners remain. Checkered flag is now being prepared, and it is going to wave. Martin van Leuven from the Netherlands takes the opening heat victory in DD2 by just over 5.5 tenths of a second ahead of Finch Diak, with Ragnar Virus taking 3rd place, having started on the outside of the front row. 2 from Germany in the top 10, courtesy of Lukas Hartmann, who ended up in 5th behind Patrick Noels Lochmelis, with Gregorio Bertocco and Rhys Hunter completing the top 7. Maxim Dirks, Matthias Jere Jakobsen and Tino Egersov complete the top 10, the last 2 being from Denmark. Zana Schriblak finished in 11th position ahead of Ville Villainen. Bennett Sabo, Dennis Thiem alongside Fried complete the top 15 positions. Kasper Stiermetkowski, Jose Barras, Justus Pangonis, Matis Marinovskis and Kinian Gerhard round out the top 20 ahead of Karl Borgard, Devin Sagadi, Jaro Dekkers, Andreas Zinkevicius, Adrian Bruno-Nossa, Vidal, Yannick Hammann, Ethan Ho, Nick Cuppens, Stig Hilt and Jan Frost being the last of the 30 drivers that made it to the end of the race. And on lap number 3, unfortunately, we lost Canada's Lucas Bernard and Poland's Mariusz Nowicki.